What's up, poker people of YouTube? Welcome back to another Vodinh poker vlog. It's 5:30 in the morning. We're going to Vegas, so maybe if I get a session in, we'll play a 5-10 at the Bellagio. Hopefully, maybe the last day. Other than that, I don't know. I don't know if I'll fit in a session throughout the trip, but maybe on the last day I'll play some 5-10 Hold'em. But it's our birthday for Vegas, so we're gonna do this trip and have some fun, poker or not. I'll see you guys in Vegas. All right, so we just arrived at Vegas. It is way too early for us here. It's 7:30, so early flight, early arrival, but we're here in Vegas, gonna find some breakfast food, maybe kill time playing poker before check-in. Other than that, see you guys at the breakfast place. Got here a bit too early after eating breakfast. We went to the ARIA to check out the poker room. There's only one 1-3 table running. We put ourselves on the list, but definitely think it's too early for 2-5 or 5-10. So whatever opens up, we'll get called. But until then, the girlfriend's gonna try this Game of Thrones slot machine. Hopefully she runs it up. So played a 1-3 no limit hold'em for what, 30 minutes or an hour, give or take. We were in the game for 300 because it was a $300 max cap. Out of the game for $535. That's a profit of $235. Hands of note, we had a pocket 8 on the button. It limped around, we raised it, got called in one spot. The flop was 8-4 deuce, 2 spades, 1 club. Guy checks to us, we c-bet. I think it was $20 into $40 or $60 or something. He called. Turn was a 6 of clubs, so 8-6-4 deuce, 2 spades, 2 clubs. He goes ahead and just rips it all in. Obviously, we have a snap call with the top set, only losing a 5-7 and 5-3. He has ace jack of clubs. The river brings the 6 of diamonds. We fill up and scoop that pot. The hand we lost $160 on, actually. We had ace queen of clubs. We open. We get called by 2 players. The flop comes ace high, ace 8-4, 3 spades. A guy donk leads for like $20. Call, I call. Turn is a queen of diamonds. We have 2 pair aces up now. It goes check, bet 25. I re-raise to 200, given that the guy only has 100 behind and he's a somewhat new player. Doesn't really know the rules of the game. Asking when it's his turn to call or fold or what his options are. So the guy in the middle folds and he does in fact call. River's a blank, like the 7 of diamonds or something, and he shows 2 9 of spades. So he flopped the 9 high flush draw and scoops us in that one. Yes, he called like $15 pre-flop. We had ace 3 offsuit. It limped to us on the big blind. We check it. Flop was ace jack deuce. Someone led in the small blind. I made the call with our ace to reevaluate a turn. Turn brought a beautiful 3. We were 3-handed at that point. He checks. I c-bet. I forgot what it was, like, no, sorry. He bet 15 or 20, I think it was. I make the call with our ace 3 2 pair. The other guy makes a call as well. 3 ways to a river, which was the jack of diamonds. So I think 3 diamonds on the board. No, sorry, it was ace 3, ace deuce jack 3 and like 7 or something with 3 diamonds. He checks it, now the diamond gets there. I bet $50. I had been getting into a lot of hands with him, just betting where I had trips twice. So this time he actually calls me because he's a non-believer, thinking I'm bluffing, and I actually had ace 3 and he had ace 8 offsuit. So he scooped that pot. No other real interesting hand of note. I guess we got in one more hand with him where we had ace king of hearts in the small blind. He calls, we raise it, he calls. Sorry, he raised, I 3-bet, he called. Flop was like, there's like $100 pot. I think I 3-bets a 50 or 40. Flop was, I think it was 2 spades, but like really low, like doesn't hit my range. I check, he checked it back. Turn was another spade, a jack of spades, I check, he checks. River was the queen of spades. I just decided to check it, not trying to blast off against him. He checks it back and he has queen nine, so he scooped that 3-bet pot against us. Other than that, it was a good session given that it was so short. Me and the girlfriend, she's still playing slots, but we're gonna go shop around a bit and then we'll check into our hotel. See you guys at the next location. So just surprised the girlfriend with her 2 best friends, flew them up from their respective cities, so now they're here. Gonna go look for some pre-game supplies, and then we're gonna get ready for our buffet and Millennium. It's gonna be a bomb. Alright, day 2 of Vegas. I'm super exhausted. We finished Millennium at like 3 a.m. Got home, showered and passed out, and now we're up and early again, up at like 9:30 a.m. We're going to Encore Beach Club and then see what happens from there to see Alesso. So see you guys at the beach club. So that was a fun session. We were in the game for 3,000, playing 5-cent uncapped, out of the game for 3,220, profit of $220. Yeah, we're gonna go to the beach club right now and party it up. What's up, poker people of YouTube? Welcome back to the Vodinh Poker Vlog. We are headed to the ARIA right now. It is 8:30 a.m. in the morning. The only reason we're heading there is we haven't seen a friend from high school in a really long time, and he's here in Vegas until basically afternoon, and our only time to meet him and hang out with him. We were gonna get breakfast, but why not play poker? Poker's a better catcher upper and hanger outer, so we're gonna go to ARIA, see what they have spread, play 1-3-2-5, whatever they got going. Hopefully run it up and give you guys some hand histories. See you guys at the ARIA. This would not be a Vodinh poker vlog without some hand history, so we have some for you guys. In this hand, we're under the gun with King Jack of clubs. We open for $20 and only get called by the big blind. The flop comes out Queen 8-5, 2 spades and a heart. Although we don't hit this board, when the big blind checks to us, we can c-bet to this board comfortably. So we c-bet for a tune of $25 and the big blind folds. Nice to win the first hand on a bluff. Moving right along, in the next hand we're in the big blind and we look down at Ace Jack offsuit. The undergun +1 opens to $20. The low jack calls. The button 3-bets to $50. I make the call. The +1 and low jack call as well. 4 players to a flop, which comes Ace, 5, Deuce, Rainbow. We flop top pair with a pretty good kicker, so we're just going to go ahead and donk lead out to the tune of $120, and all players fold. 2 wins so far. In the next one we have Ace 10 offsuit in the small blind. The undergun +1 opens for $15, and there's 4 callers including us. The flop comes out Jack, 10, 9, Rainbow. I go ahead and donk lead out for $40, kind of a blocker bet, and trying to steal the pot right there and then, and only the undergun +1 calls. Knowing we're most likely behind now, we're going to slow down on any turn, except the turn brings the ace of clubs, giving us aces up. We go ahead and continue betting for $80, going for value, and the +1 folds this time. 3 for 3. In this next hand, we're in the cutoff with Queen Jack offsuit. There's 2 limpers to us, and we're going to go ahead and pop it up to $25 and only under the gun calls. Flop comes out Ace, Jack, 4, 2 hearts, and a diamond. We do not have a heart, and we have middle pair, so when under the gun checks, we're going to go ahead and check it back to pot control. Turn brings the deuce of hearts, bringing in that front door flush draw. Under the gun goes ahead and leads for $15. I decide to just make the call given the price. River brings the queen of hearts. We only have a bluff catcher now, given that there are 4 hearts on the board and we have 2 pair. Under the gun bets $40. I call knowing I only beat bluffs, but I wanted to see what he called $25 pre with, and he shows us king 8 offsuit with the 8 of hearts. So that's a pretty good information for $40 if I do say so myself. I could be wrong, but I'd rather pay for that information just to see what he's calling off with pre, and that's pretty important to know that he called off with king 8 offsuit for $25 pre-flop. The under the gun straddle is on in this hand, and we look down at ace 5 of clubs in the low jack. We go ahead and make it $30 and only the cutoff calls. Heads up to flop now, which comes king 7 deuce rainbow. No club on the board. We go ahead and c-bet, given that this might hit our range with a lot of king x hands, so we bet for $40 and he cutoff tank calls. The turn brings the 4 spades. Given that he tanked on the flop, he could either be Hollywooding or actually have a decision, so I decide to continue and go for the tune of $70. The cutoff then raises to $170, which means he was clearly Hollywooding on the flop. So we're going to let this one go, given that we have really no equity aside from a gutter ball to the wheel. This next one's actually super interesting in my opinion. We have 10-9 of diamonds in the low jack, a suited connected hand. 1 limp to us, and we go ahead and make it $20 and get called by 4 people. Feels like we're back in Texas. The flop comes 7-5-4 with 5 people to the flop, 2 hearts and a club. 3 people check to us. We go ahead and c-bet really large, actually, pot size to the tune of $100. Trying to just steal it. This board really shouldn't hit anyone's pre-flop calling range, so I make it $100. The cutoff, big blind, and +1 actually all call, however. 4 ways to a turn now in a $500 pot, which is the 5 of diamonds. Really no help to us, bringing us no equity, and after getting called by 3 people on the flop, there's really no reason to continue, so we check it after it checks through, and we can't really barrel again after getting called in those 2 spots. So the river brings a helpful card to us. It's the 10 of clubs, so we actually have showdown value now, surprisingly enough. It checks to us again, and we check back. We win against every single missed draw, and we scoop this $500 pot, catching a beautiful 10 on the river for showdown. In our next hand, we have ace queen of diamonds in the cutoff. The low jack makes it $15. We 3-bet to $50. The rest of the players fold, and only the low jack calls. Heads up to flop, which comes 7-5-5, 2 spades and a club. The low jack checks, and given that we missed this board, we're not going to c-bet, so we check it back. Turn brings the jack of clubs. The low jack now checks once again. We go ahead and down bet to the tune of $40. This really accomplishes what we want in folding out other king high, ace high hands, and really telling us where we are if he has an overpair. The low jack does call, and we go to a river, which is the 8 of spades. The low jack starts reaching for chips, and we immediately fold and surrender the hand. Bringing a little bit of Houston, Texas poker to Las Vegas, we look down at 88, Johnny's 88. In the cutoff, the hijack limps. We make it $20 with our pocket pair, the small blind and hijack call. 3 players to a flop, which comes ace, queen, 4, 2 spades, and a heart. Although this should hit our pre-flop raising range, when the small blind and hijack check, they could be trapping a ace or a queen, so we just check it back. Turn is no help, it's the 6 of clubs. Small blind bets $40, the hijack folds, and I'm not going to let go of my hand just yet, so I make the call. I know this is a probably bad call on the turn in hindsight. River brings the 5 of hearts. Small blind bets $80 once again. I just feel sticky with it, and I decide to make the call, and the small blind shows ace queen offsuit. So it was a really bad call from my part on the turn, and especially on the river, because we're not really beating anything except missed draws like king 10, jack 10, and king jack. In our next hand, we look down at pocket 9s. Under the gun, we upgrade it just a bit. We go ahead and open to $20. The small blind makes it $60, and we're the only person that calls, looking to set mine. Flop comes 7-7-4, 2 clubs and a heart. The small blind continues and c-bets for $75. With our overpair, we're not going anywhere, so we just make the call. Turn brings the 8 of diamonds. Small blind continues once again for $150, and I make the call once again. River's the jack of diamonds, and the small blind bets $300. Not really sure what he's repping here aside from queens or better. I tank for a pretty long time before making the call, and the small blind shows pocket aces. I should have known he'd been playing pretty snug and kind of played aces the same way earlier, so I definitely should have folded the river if not the turn. Oh well, we move on. In the last hand that we're going to cover, we have ace king of hearts in the low jack. Under the gun +1 bets $15. This is an easy 3-bet to $35, and only the +1 calls. Heads up to flop, which comes 8, 5, deuce, 2 hearts and a spade. We flop the nut flush draw. The +1 actually donks out for $50, and we make the call with our nut flush draw. Turn brings the deuce of clubs. The +1 checks, and I go ahead and check back. River brings an interesting card. It's not exactly the card we want. It's the 8 of hearts, so we do have the ace high flush, but on a 2-paired board. The +1 bets $60. We only have a bluff catcher at this point. I go ahead and make the call, and the +1 shows 8, 9 of clubs for the 8s full of deuces, so we lose that one.
So 15:30.
So real quick, we are done with the session at the ARIA. We played 2-5. The cap was a 1K, so we bought in for 1,000. In the game for 1,000, out of the game for 1530. That is a profit of $530. Great day. We were down probably 280, 270 at the lowest point after calling with, what was it, that against that aces hand, which we definitely should have folded. I just knew he had it, but there's one hand I didn't record, and I will go through it right now. It was actually against that guy. We have Jack 9 of diamonds in the small blind, and it 2 limpers to him, and he pops it up to 55, a larger sizing. So I know immediately that he has 10s at the least. Jacks are better because he's only played like 2 or 3 hands, and in those 2 he had aces. So on the small blind, out of position, I know it's an easy fold, but I decide to call because there's a lot of things we can hit knowing that his range is capped to overpairs. So I call to see a flop, and we actually get 2 callers to come with us. Pot is 225. The flop comes 9, 6, deuce, rainbow. 9, 6, deuce, rainbow. I actually donk lead out in this spot. I want to set my own price. I don't want him to bet big like 150, 200, or even more than that into a $225 pot. So I decided to set my own price a little bit heftier. Kind of works as a blocker bet. I lead out for $120, so a bit over 50% of the pot, just a bit over 50% of the pot. Obviously I have Jack 9 top pair, and there's a diamond draw, or backdoor diamond draw, so 9, 6, deuce, 1 diamond. I lead out and only get called by him, so we know where he's at. 10s are better, obviously. The turn brings the Jack of spades, so now we have 2 pair. I lead for a smaller sizing of $180 compared to the pot. The pot's 440 right now. 120, 240, sorry, 460. Pot is 460. I lead for 180, kind of a down bet, given the size of the pot. And he actually thinks for a while, cuts out green chips, and raises to $400. This is an easy jam. We only have $600 total. We already have 180 in with 400 behind. So we go ahead and go all in. He is pot committed, and he has to call for the extra 200. He calls. The river is the beautiful Jack of hearts. We fill up. Not like we needed it. I'm pretty sure a 2 pair was good. He mucks, and we get that double up. So that was why we are up $530. So that big hand set us over the top, and yeah, good session. Got to meet my friend from high school who I haven't seen in like a few years. So that was a good experience. He's getting into poker, very new, starting at 2-5, which is definitely a step. Skipping 1-2 and going straight into 2-5. I'm rooting for him. I'm going to coach him to the best of my ability without giving him bad advice. Fingers crossed. Other than that, yeah, good session at the ARIA. In the game for 1,000, out of the game for 1530, profit $530. And yeah, if you made it this far, we still have a lot of Vegas to do. So let's see if we put this all on one vlog. And I'll see you guys at the next stop. Don't forget to like and subscribe. So just finished the session at the Bellagio, 510, in the game for 1,000, out of the game for 1440. The big hand that we had ace jack of hearts. We were probably even at this point. We had a big bluff against the same player, like $200. Like we lost like $200, $300 bluffing that player. We had open-ended on the flop, bet the turn, bet big on the river, and he called us. So that was our hand history with him, but we were in the small blind, ace jack of hearts, under the gun limps for $10. We make it 40, big blind folds, under the gun calls. Flop comes out queen, 4, 2, all hearts. We flop the absolute nuts, ace high flush. We down bet huge down bet to $20. Pot's $90, we down bet $20. He calls. I think you're kind of forced to call in that spot. It seems really strong, but it's I don't know. It seems really strong. Anyways, he does make the call. Turn is the 8 of clubs. We still have the nuts. We pop it up, start building a pot to 70, and he makes a call once again. The river brings the king of spades or clubs. So we have the absolute nut still from the flop to the river, and we lead for a larger sizing of 300 into, what was it? 140 plus whatever it was, 280. So pot size bet 300 into 280. He makes a call, and obviously we take down that pot. We leave after that because obviously it was another short session with the girlfriend. So heading out, and see you guys on the next location. What's up, poker people of YouTube? I haven't really updated anything since the last update, but we ran pretty well. We won like $600 in blackjack, and I'm not a blackjack person, but we're up like 2 point something over the trip. She's lost a bit of money in roulette, but we made up plenty enough for the trip in poker in all our short sessions, which was definitely good. We've been running good enough to grind out 30-minute 1-hour sessions and come out on top of those. Playing nitty poker, not as Texas as I'd like to be, but that Jack 9 earlier in the Bellagio hand, was it? That was, or not Bellagio, ARIA hand. So that was me bringing Texas to Vegas. Other than that, playing pretty straight GTO tight. Today is Tuesday. It is her birthday. We have dinner reservations tonight. We just stopped by Urban Necessities, which I'll show the videos of Urban Necessities. It's a super cool place. I've always wanted to go to it. It's owned by 2J's Kicks, and it is a great hypebeast store. As you know, I'm heavily into hypebeast wear, wearing Bape right now, and then wearing my Sean Wotherspoon shoes. Didn't buy anything because they didn't have the shoes that I wanted in my size, but one day I'll get them. Other than that, going back to the hotel, getting ready for her dinner, and then maybe play at the Bellagio either tonight or tomorrow morning while she packs and gets ready for our flight out tomorrow. See you guys on the next part of the trip. So just played probably the second to last or last session, 1-3 Bellagio, birthday girl. It was her first time playing live poker. She's beaten me heads up in Hold'em and PLO at home, but this was her first time playing actual live poker. I talked her into playing on her birthday. She won $3 in the game for 100, out of the game for 103. Me, not so lucky. 1-3 Bellagio is 300 cap, and I was in the game for 1,100. Out of the game for 309. I lost, I don't remember the out, but I was down $309. One buy-in. So I mean, I was stuck, you know, 700, 800 at one point. So minus 300, one buy-in isn't that bad. The big hand that we lost that basically made us stuck was Jacks against Ace King off, pre-flop, $300 all in, and he spiked the king on the river. But other than that, we were able to climb back. We got that same player back, Queens against Jacks on the turn, all in, and that's what put us back up. But yeah, still stuck. Good trip, good trip overall. Yeah, and maybe I'll play a 5-10 tomorrow before we leave on the flight. Other than that, I'll see you guys on the next vlog if I don't play. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace. So just finished my last session at the Bellagio. 2-5, in the game for 500, out of the game for 1325. That's a profit of 825. Pretty standard spots. We sucked out a few times, 2 pair. Well, we didn't suck out. We got there on the turn and then got max value like 3 or 4 times. And that's how we built up our stack. The only spot, we were never really down, I think, this session during 2-5. So it was nice after losing the 309 yesterday to come out on top and then the trip on a win. Going home now, going to the airport and calling it a trip. Really profitable session throughout the whole Vegas trip. Up like 2.8 or 3 Gs after all the blackjack, roulette and stuff. We didn't lose at all in any of the table games, which was great because yeah, I thought I would lose on blackjack or roulette, but we did really well. We ran really well. And then poker, we ran really well. We won 4 or 5 out of 6 sessions or whatever it was. We only lost 1 session, which was yesterday during playing 1-3 drunk Bellagio poker. And then Tran won $3, so I guess I count that as a win session for us. Anyways, if you made it this far, don't forget to like and subscribe. And the next time I see you guys on the vlog, it will be back in Houston, Texas. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.